Okay, so now I've got the Tennessee Titans draft reaction. I'll look at each pick, give my thoughts, and then give an overall grade at the end. So the first pick that they took in the draft was Caleb Farley, the corner from Virginia Tech. I like the pick. He does have those big injury concerns with having two surgeries on his back. But overall, he was probably the first or second corner. He was probably would be my second if the injuries weren't there, just behind Patrick Surtain, because that's how good he is. He's kind of like a generational type corner. He was amazing for Virginia Tech. Like he had that breakout year, just like showing exactly what he could do. Has amazing speed, length, just everything you want in a good corner. And he was new to the position also, so it's very promising that he could have a lot of potential to grow and be a good corner in the league. And then also the Titans, they really needed more cornerbacks. They got Janoris Jenkins. He's a good number two corner, but he's not going to be a number one corner, and he's getting up there in age. I think he's like 34, so yeah, he's pretty old. So getting a good young corner, Caleb Farley, I really like it. And if he is healthy, could be a steal in the draft. So I do like that pick. And then they took Dylan Radunes, the tackle from North Dakota State. This was also a good pick. I thought he could have gone earlier than this. Just all the tackles kind of dropped, so he kind of just fell in their lap. And I think he's probably a better player than Isaiah Wilson from last year, who just didn't really work out and was a bit of a reach at the time. But Dylan Radunes, he's definitely got a lot of stuff to build up on just because he played at North Dakota State. Like, he can definitely get better at stuff. But overall, really good athlete. Was very good at the Senior Bowl also. Just nobody could get past him, which is very promising. He was like the highest graded tackle there. You don't want to get all caught up in that, but it is promising playing against draftable players. So I think he could get coached up very well. He'd probably start for them straight away at tackle. And I think that'd be a very good option. Like he was a very good player, so I like it. Second round also, they kind of needed to replace that position. So I really like the pick and for a really good player in Dylan Radunes, who I was pretty high on. And then they got Monty Rice also. I got like Monty Rice. He's a pretty decent player. Linebacker wasn't their biggest need. Like they have Jalen Brown and Rashawn Evans, but it seems like they'll probably move on from Rashawn Evans. It looks like they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. They do have Jalen Brown, so maybe the future is Monty Rice and Jalen Brown. And he will get some good snaps also. Like a lot of teams use three linebackers now for quite a decent amount of plays. And he will be a really good special teamer straight away. And it's probably good that he doesn't start straight away. He definitely could be a good backup if people do go down with injuries, which happened sometimes last year for the Titans. So if you have a good player like Monty Rice in there, I think it's very good. I think it was also good value because he was a very good player at Georgia, just kind of underlooked. So I like the pick. And then they also got a really good pick in Elijah Molden, probably the best slot cornerback in this draft. Also has some versatility to move to safety, but probably stick him at that slot corner position. He might not start straight away, didn't they? I swear they signed that slot corner. I mean, the cornerback position's pretty much set, but you don't know what's gonna happen. He'll definitely get some snap. They might actually move him to safety because they kind of got their corners. It's not a long-term plans. They got corners, so they could definitely move him back to the slot after people's contracts are up. And he's a really good player at the end of the 3rd round. I think that's very good for Elijah Molden, who's just an all-around good player. And we'll just have to see what they do with him. So I like it. And then I took Dez Fitzpatrick. He's not the best receiver. I think in the 4th round, I probably would have gone for somebody else. That receiver position for the Titans is still not looking very good. They've only really got A.J. Brown, and I guess, was Dez Fitzpatrick going to be your second receiver? I don't know how appealing that is. You got Josh Reynolds, but he's not really a number 2 type receiver. Just not that amazing, and he was on a really cheap contract. So Dez Fitzpatrick, he will help out your receiver position because he's a pretty good athlete, pretty quick, and he'll be a good vertical threat. You kind of have your vertical threat. What's that dude? That returner they have. I can't remember. Frick, I can't remember, but Titans fans will know. So I mean, Dez Fitzpatrick, yeah, they did need more receivers, and he could be decent. I don't know how much upside he really has because he wasn't even the best receiver on their team. And then I took Rashad Weaver in the 4th round. I also didn't really love Dez Fitzpatrick. I like this pick though with Rashad Weaver, who's only 2 inches taller than Dez Fitzpatrick. but much bigger. Yeah, he's a pretty good player in the fourth round. I think that's a good pick. Also, I thought he could have gone earlier, definitely, but does just kind of has like athleticism. That's kind of it, and a good strength. Doesn't really have the hands. Like, not really gonna use them very well, but he can. He's definitely coachable as a good high upside raw player that you can build in fourth round of a team that could use more rotational players on the edge. I think it's a good pick. And then they took Racy McMath, the big receiver, basically tight end. I think he probably would play kind of that type of position. They took him in the sixth. I thought it was kind of a reach. I thought he would go undrafted. He's just not really a good player. That's, to be honest. Like, you watch his Senior Bowl, he didn't win a single thing. Like, he was horrible. He just can't really win it. He's just a big target. He was an amazing special teamer. I guess you got something there, but doesn't really have amazing athleticism. Like, kind of more of a special teamer. Really, not really going to offer you much. Not good after the catch. That's kind of it. Maybe could be a good jump ball receiver because doesn't really have route running or anything. Just not really a good player. Just didn't really like that. I do like this pick though. Brady Breeze. He was one of my sleeper safeties. Like, he was really good at Oregon. Then he opted out. He was only good for a year. That's when he got the chance. He was really good. And taking him in the sixth round, I definitely take that for Brady Breeze. I think he could be their starting safety with whatever they do with Elijah Molden, though. I think he's definitely can be a good free safety because he has amazing like athleticism and just really good ball hawk who just goes after the ball and very smart player. So I like it. Brady Breeze, fan of that pick. So yeah, that was a Titans draft. Overall, it was pretty good. They had a lot of good picks. Like, their first four picks, I liked. Probably the best players they could have took at that point. I mean, maybe there would have been better players instead of Monty Rice, but I like the pick. I like the player. The last four picks, I mean, besides Brady Breeze, I really liked. It was kind of just these three were like a bit questionable. Rashad Weaver, I like, but Racing Mouth and Desmond Patrick, that was kind of the receivers that you could have took. I feel like you could have done a better job in that. So addressing receiver position probably still needs some work. I don't know how good that second or third receiver will be. So overall, though, with this draft, I'd probably give it a. I'll give them an A because I like most of the picks. There's only really two picks I didn't really like that much. So not enough for an A plus, but an A for the Tennessee Titans overall. Pretty decent draft for them. Liked a lot of their picks. I think they did a good job to kind of get back into contention and kind of compete in the AFC. So I liked it. And then the next one I have is the Washington football team. So you better stay tuned and back.